It's our last video together before your virtual interview, and believe me, you are ready, and you're going to be even more ready after this video. I've saved the best for last. I've got some truly resourceful and juicy strategy tips that I'm about to share with you, and they're going to change your life. They're going to change the way that you interview forever. Let's dive in right now. Number 1, when you attend your virtual interview, do not sit and wait for the hiring manager to ask you the first question. The biggest advantage you can gain in this interview is if you ask the first question and as if you break the ice. If you break the ice, the hiring manager will see you as an equal throughout the duration of the interview. They'll get warm, fuzzy feelings about you, and you're going to stick in their mind for days to come as one of the top candidates they interviewed. All right, so let's talk about an example. If you know who your hiring manager is, and if you don't know who they are, you should message the recruiter and ask them to tell you who the hiring manager is. Hop on LinkedIn and see if you can find out just a little bit of information about them. I'm not asking you to stalk, but I am asking you to do your homework. You can ask them a simple question like, I saw your last job was in an analyst position at the same company. How have you enjoyed moving up? You could ask them something about their college experience, like, I saw you went to the University of Alabama. My brother went there. I'm a big fan of that school. What was your experience like there? That shatters the ice, and it smooths and paves the road for the rest of your interview. Okay. So leading from that question into our next strategy tip, a lot of people make the mistake of approaching the interview as it's all about them. Oh, I've got 30 minutes with this company. I better talk about everything that's impressive about me before you get into a 15-minute spiel about who you are, where you came from, why you want this job. Consider just turning to the hiring manager and ask, for this role, what problems do you need solved? Now, listen to the problems that the hiring manager tells you. Then, while they're speaking, formulate how your skills, abilities, and even previous examples of your work, previous accomplishments, can demonstrate how you would solve those problems for the hiring manager. If you can effectively do those two things, first, break the ice, and second, identify the problem and tell them how you are going to solve the problem, you are guaranteed to be one of the top candidates for the position. Let that sink in. How does it feel? Do you feel like you can handle that? I know you can. All right, so let's discuss the usual suspects. These are your standard interview questions that you are guaranteed to be asked. If you're lucky, when you break the ice and you bring up the conversation about problems that need to be solved, these won't come up. Maybe your conversation will just flow and flow and flow and you won't have to answer these sticklers. But a lot of companies will have a manager or an HR rep in the interview who require that these standardized questions be answered. Here they are. What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why do you want to work for us? And tell me about a time when you experienced conflict and how you resolved it. I would like for you to take a few minutes today to consider how you would answer those questions using the STAR technique. Hopefully you've heard of STAR before, but if not, I'm going to cover it with you now. Answering a question using the STAR technique means that you phrase your response in a way that sets the situation, discusses the task, discusses your action, and discusses the result. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. So for example, if a hiring manager were to ask you, tell me about a time when you experienced conflict in the office and how you handled it, you would want to provide them the situation, the task you were tasked with, your action, and the result. So you could say something like, well, at one point, there was an argument about how many 3-ring binders would be distributed during training season. I was tasked with auditing all of the binders. Because I audited all of the binders, I was able to inform each of the team members that we were going to be short by 5 binders. As a result, we ordered additional binders and the conflict was resolved. So that's an example of the STAR technique. Why don't you think about that question and think about the other usual suspects and see if you can come up with some STAR examples of how you would answer them. Congratulations! You finished the course and you are ready to ace your virtual interview. We've talked about technology, we've talked about body language, we've talked about a professional setting, a professional look, we talked about eye contact, and I gave you my gold nuggets of interviewing strategy. You are more than ready and you're going to do an amazing job. I want to take just a moment to step back to one topic from our course, and that's mindset. Remember, everything in life is happening for you, and this opportunity, this interview was meant to be, no matter what the outcome is. So please approach this with an attitude of gratitude. Please prepare yourself to step away with an appreciation for whatever you learn and an appreciation for the job if you receive it. Remember that this is about building a relationship with that hiring manager, and also remember that this is more than just chasing the dollar. This is about personal development and personal growth. You're going to do an amazing job. Good luck in your interview, and I would love to hear all about it. Okay, so when you're ready and when you're finished, please send me the questions that you were asked, share with me how you answered, share with me how any techniques you learned in this course have helped you. All right, good luck, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.